Well, hello, and welcome to the Building Business Podcast, powered by the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce. We are recording in the Charleston Media Solutions Studios, who are huge supporters of the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce, so thank you for allowing us to record here today. We also want to thank our sponsor, DK Designs. DK Designs does so many different things for the Chamber, including logos, does great work. Check him out if you're looking for a new design or need some creative assistance. My name is Kathy Herman, and I am the immediate past president of the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce, and I'm the marketing director for Mount Pleasant Town Center. I'm joined today by, and I say this every time, my favorite co-host.
Favorite.
You can go and look.
Favorite
I say that
special,
every time.
Maybe special sometimes.
Yeah. Mike Compton, who is president of Roombo Advertising and the current marketing committee chair for the Chamber.
That's it.
Welcome, Mike.
Hey, good to be here. Super excited about today's guest.
I don't even know.
Are you okay? You kind of did a little bit of.
No, I'm a little nervous.
Fangirled out in the.
I am.
Because of me?
Because of you,
Oh
yes.
my God. No.
Who is that
Well,
voice?
Listen, there's nothing wrong with fanning, okay? Well, because you'll find out I'm like the biggest nerdist. I read constantly. I would rather read than do anything else, almost anything else
Me too.
in the world. So I'm a big book nerd. So when I get to sit this close to an author. Anyway, all right, let me tell you who
author.
I know.
Yeah.
Let me tell you who we've got here today.
With lineage and the whole
Okay.
thing.
All right. Our guest today, if you can tell already, she's an author, was born in New York City. I'm from Long Island too. I don't know.
Perfect.
Yeah. So that's why we're going to be friends.
Yeah.
Raised in Montclair, New Jersey. I have friends in Montclair, New Jersey. But considers herself to have dual residency in the Low Country, and you deserve that for sure. She's a graduate of the College of Charleston, and this always blows my mind. We have to talk about this. The French Culinary Institute. How you go from cooking to writing. Victoria worked in restaurants in New York before returning to Charleston, where she calls home with her husband, her 2 kids, and her sweet puppy.
Now I have 2 puppies.
2 puppies.
Yeah.
2 sweet puppies. We
Loretta and Lady.
Loretta and Lady.
Yeah.
Oh.
When she isn't writing, she's reading, cooking, playing mahjong, or chasing her children. Everyone listening today, I am so excited. Like Mike said, I'm a fangirl. Please welcome Victoria Benton Frank.
Thank you for having
crowd
me.
goes
I'm
wild.
so
Yes,
flattered
the crowd
to be
goes
here.
wild.
The radio station was buzzing today when you were coming in there.
Thanks,
People were
y'all.
standing outside, lined up, waiting
up.
for.
Listen,
Yeah.
Victoria.
No, but they were though.
No, they were not.
We've
One-
not.
the one lady.
No, I mean, I don't
threw
know.
a Diet Coke or a bottle of water. It's hot out there.
I don't know if we've ever had people standing outside the conference room with a book. And
That's
a
my
pen in
point.
hand.
Oh, you guys are going to make me
That's my
blush.
point.
Thank you.
I mean, pretty
appreciate-
amazing.
That's very sweet.
So if there's anyone listening who does not know who Victoria Benton Frank is, I'm going to let her do a brief introduction.
oh, God.
Oh, you're gonna-
Okay.
you're gonna
And
make
then
her talk
we
about
will
herself.
take it from
Nice.
there.
This
Just-
always makes me nervous when people ask me to introduce myself because I'm always like, please just introduce me because I don't know what to say. I think I'm sort of like a cat. I've lived like 8 lives already.
Right.
And this is my 9th swing at it. But I'm a mom, a wife, and a writer. And I'm a dreamer and a cook. And I like to design things and make things. And I'm an artist. So I think with being an artist, you are always finding a new medium in which to express yourself. And when I first started out, I was a dancer. And then I was an actress, and then I was a playwright, and then I was a chef, and now I'm a writer, I guess. And this one feels like home, so that's who I am.
It's very exciting, and of course, let's talk about your mom for a second,
Sure.
which is where the name might become familiar to some of you. Dorothea Benton Frank, I mean, best-selling,
Incredible.
internationally best-selling novelist. Who I understand was born and raised in
Yes.
Sullivan's Island,
yes,
correct?
from Sullivan's Island. Yes.
And so, of course, she passed away, and rest in peace. And we're really sorry about that. But boy, did you get her talent!
Oh God, I hope just a fingernail of it would be great. I mean, she's the best. She was incredible. But I think when you grow up as an Irish Catholic, especially in a Southern Irish Catholic like we did, I'm Episcopalian now, but I was. You're a natural storyteller, so storytelling is something that is how we communicate. I mean, and it's all around the table. So that's sort of where that food comes in. And I don't know if I got her talent, but I did get her love of telling a good story and entertaining. So but I'm glad you feel that way.
I do.
I hope other
absolutely
people
do
with
feel that
cash flow
way.
positive credit cards feel that way too. We'll buy my book.
20 novels, 20 plus novels.
20 novels
she
and a
wrote?
children's book with me.
That was my next question, is the children's book. What was it like collaborating, and how old were you when you did that?
So that was, that was a while. That was I gave birth 2017.
Okay.
So whatever that math is, I'm 40 this year, so subtract. But
It's math.
I don't do that. I've moved on.
You're an author.
Math. Yeah, I don't math.
You don't need math.
I'm creative.
Same.
So the only thing I know about numbers is how to make them and spend them. So my mother and she was taking care of my son when he was born with me, which is a generous thing. She was more like standing around like, how do you know how to do all this stuff? I'm like, I don't know, Mom. It's YouTube.
Yeah, right.
But so she was just like, how are you? And I was nursing my son around the clock. Like that child was like a linebacker. He ate like, I can't even, I mean, I would sit on the couch and I'd be like, I'm trapped. And my mom's like, you've been on there for 2 hours. I'm like, he's still eating.
Yeah.
Like constant eating. And I was starting to kind of lose my mind. And she was like, and I called him Teddy Spaghetti because I married an Italian.
Okay.
So I thought he was like my Italian baby, my pasta baby. And he's Teddy Spaghetti. And my mom's like, that sounds like a children's book. And I was like, it does.
Wow.
And
Light bulb.
Yeah. And within 2 weeks, we had a manuscript.
So you're breastfeeding and writing this book, like, because you're sitting there. You might as well do something else, right? You have arms still.
Well, you start to get crazy because all you're doing, you're just like a cow. Like I felt like a dairy heifer.
I remember
my wife.
Like, we had
it was
twins,
awful.
So,
Oh God.
Yeah.
She's
She had
a
both
saint.
on them.
Speaking of Catholics, she's a saint now.
But I love that. That's amazing. What was it like though, writing with her and collaborating with her and like
easy?
Yeah,
really
sounds
easy.
like it.
My mom and I always joke we're the tightest mother and daughter in the world until we started working together, and then that was our strongest relationship. And I think it's because, which is odd, and not normal for parents to work so well with their children, but I just picked up where she left off, and the opposite. We just sort of anticipated each other's needs, and well, what do you think? What do you think?
Yeah.
And I think the magic of my mother is that she met everybody right at their level. She never made you feel like she was, bigger or better or smarter or whatever, which she was. She was definitely bigger and better and smarter, more wonderful than all of us, but she made you feel like you're at the same level. And so she always encouraged me to write. And I had been writing my first novel, My Magnolia Summer, for a while. And so I think this was her way of showing me that I could do it.
Now, is this what brought you back to the Low Country permanently from New York? Like, what was what brought you back?
So I went to college at Charleston.
Okay.
And I met my husband in culinary school, and we worked for his parents at a restaurant up in Connecticut. And that was not like the experience I had with my mom. It was not so positive.
No.
And I was just like, I'm done. And I was like kind of traumatized. And I was like, I'm moving back to South Carolina and you can come with me. I want you to, but I understand he's the firstborn Italian son into a Catholic immigrant Italian family. Like he wasn't going to follow me. There was no way. And then he did. He said, break the lease. I'm coming. And so then I came back. And of course, they live now we moved again, but they lived across the street from us.
Well, that's a lot.
You got far away. You got far away.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy, but they're wonderful people. Yeah. That was in the past, but yeah. So I wanted to return home, and I always felt like South Carolina was my home. Even living up north, I think I was always like a displaced person because I'm so like Southern on the inside and I'm Northern on the outside. Like you don't really know where I come from because I say y'all and schlep. And both are organic to me.
Those are two fantastic words,
yes,
by the way.
Yes, they are. We love our words.
What is it about Mount Pleasant and Charleston that you think people love? Like you said, this is your second home, but what is it? And you're writing about these.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a lot of things. First of all, certainly speaking from my work, I think that setting is really your protagonist. So I think the main character of your story is always the setting.
Okay.
I think there's something special about Charleston that is just intoxicating. And I also think everyone wants to be Southern.
I heard you say that before. I wanted you to dive into that a little bit. What do you mean? I'm from Detroit. I don't want to be.
Where do you live?
Shit.
Right. You live here.
Exactly.
My grandmother's from Detroit. She recently passed away. She was 102.
Oh, okay.
So Dearborn is where.
Sure, suburbia Detroit.
Yeah.
I'm not downtown 8 Mile or anything like that.
Right. Not like Eminem.
Detroit.
Yeah, I love people from Michigan. It's like
cool.
There's a kismet thing. I love it.
Yeah.
But I think everybody does want to be Southern because we sort of, and you can actually see it not just with America, but even like in Italy, if you look at Southern Italians, we are louder and more fun, and we're, gregarious, and we eat very similar foods. We focus on family and sunshine.
Yeah.
And I think that it's the vitamin D that we get from the sun that just makes us happier.
So true.
And you want to be in gray New York? No, thank you. Yeah, y'all are a bunch of like transplants too, right? Long Island and Detroit.
We're all communists.
We're over it. Yeah. We don't want to shovel snow. I'd rather be hot and put on the air conditioner.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't work outside, so I could go from my car to my office, from my office to my house.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything outside except for like going inside, walking my dog.
So in your books,
yeah,
are we on? I haven't read it yet. Cliff notes,
right?
Maybe it's it's not.
You're a dude. It's not your target. You're not my target demographic. I get it. It's okay.
It's kind of there.
Your wife's gonna love it, Mike. Your wife's gonna love it.
Let's see how well you pick up with questions that you have. Just kidding.
Well, mahjong talk will come later.
Yeah, that's in the second book. We will talk about the new book too, for sure.
Kids are learning mahjong.
Oh my God, it's the best.
Oh, they're loving it.
I love it. Yeah.
But so the locations on Sullivan's Island. Are you writing about Sullivan's Island? That's really cool.
Always.
Okay.
That is the center of my universe. So
talk about it.
That was my mom. So this is the most ironic thing ever. So my mother, when her mother passed away, decided to write a book about her childhood, which was Sullivan's Island, her first book that came out in, I think, 98 or 99.
Wait. Her book was called Sullivan's Island?
That's her first book. Then. And it's great. And it sold over 1 million copies and just went gangbusters. It was a paperback. And it was at the time, back in the 90s, when you could get a paperback at the grocery store. They had those like little... Yeah. And so she walked in there when she was grieving her mother and picked up, I think it was a Danielle Steele novel, which was romance, and we don't write romance.
I recognize that name.
Yeah, we know her a little bit. A couple books she sold. And she picked it up and she goes, "What does this woman have that I don't have? Why can she do it and I can't?" Which is, of course, that's Dottie's like MO. She's like, if you can do it, I can do it better. And so she decided to tell her story. And I think at the core of all of our writing and all of our books is you write what you know, and you write a book that someone would want to read.
Yeah.
And so she romanticized Sullivan's Island even more so when her mother passed, and she wanted to buy back the family house. And my dad was like, if you think I'm going to sit on a porch with a bunch of bubbas telling the same damn story over and over, shucking peanuts and drinking, it's not happening. She goes, well, screw you. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to sell 1 million copies and I'll buy Mama's house back. And she did.
Oh my gosh. That's
so then
amazing.
I decided to write. I started my novel when she was still living. And her last words to me were, finish your book, please. So I did, but I wrote it and I finished it after she died. And then my second book is a lot of the trends that go through it and themes are dealing with grief and realizing that your parents are actually human. They're not just mom and dad. So it's sort of how you deal with curveballs.
100%. Speaking of humans, real quick, what about dad?
What about
dad? What does dad do?
Should ask my therapist.
Yeah,
she could tell you a lot about daddy issues. He's phenomenal. He's a wonderful human. And we have become so much closer. We actually joke that the only good thing that came out of my mom passing is that it gave us a chance to be besties.
Okay.
And I'm very close with my dad.
And he lives locally.
Sullivan's Island. Yeah.
And what did he do?
He finance. So finance, and he did a lot of things. Yeah.
Finance.
Yeah. Looking for a guy in finance. He's not 6'5", but he does have blue eyes.
Hey.
But he's 78 and he's off the market.
Oh. Sorry, ladies.
Yeah, unfortunately. But he's a great guy. We have dinner once a week, and man, no one tells me the truth like he does. So
I bet
you need someone like that in your life, and you know it.
Yeah. I have 2 children and a husband that do that too. Don't worry, it's a humble pie every day for breakfast.
How old are the kids?
7 and 5, but they're really like, my son is a 90-year-old man, and my daughter is 16. She is a living Disney princess, though. Like literally, if you come over to my house, she's singing and she's on her tiptoes. She starts the day as Rapunzel. She ends as Cinderella and every princess in between.
Oh my gosh,
she's amazing.
That's
She's
awesome.
Delicious. They're the best kids. I'm lucky.
Yeah, you're in the middle of it. Too.
I am.
5 and 7. I got 2 9-year-olds.
Oh, that's wonderful. You have twins. Boys or girls?
Boys.
Oh man, 9-year-old boys.
Lucked out.
Yeah. How's the house?
Clean, immaculate.
Yeah, right.
What do you
mean? No blood. It was like, I can't believe you drive a minivan. I'm like, I can't drive anything else.
Minivans are great.
They're the best invention ever.
I don't drive one anymore.
But is your 16-year-old driving now then?
No, she's not 16. She's
no,
5.
She's 5 going on 16.
Oh my goodness.
She acts like she's...
I was going to say, how does she have a 16-year-old
I do not have a 16-year-old child. Teen pregnancy. No, I had my children in my 30s, which I think is really smart.
I like that too.
Because I think if I had done it in my 20s, I would have been really freaked out. And instead, I had a sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
So
we're ready for it.
Yeah, I don't know if I was ready for it, but I handled it.
As the man, I guess.
It's a little different.
Emily was a little
It's a little different for dad. I tell my friends all the time, I'm like, I'm yelling at my kids I'm like, you can ask your father sitting over there with his useless nipples. Like, come on, go ask him. He's right there.
Oh my God, that's
useless. You can't milk a cat, fucker.
Oh my, exactly. I love when people are like, I'm a dog mom. I'm like, oh, you breastfed for 9 months, 24, and you worried about a college fund? Get the hell out of here. My kids, it cracks me up though. Like when I lock myself in the office, that my daughter will slide things she wants me to open, snacks, under the door. And I'm like, again, dad's right there. And like, he's on duty because mommy's writing. Like, I got to go. I got to keep the starship afloat. What are you doing? And like a little granola bar. And she goes, Mommy, can you open this? I'm like, son of a. Yes, I can. That's mommy.
That is the cutest thing.
I tell my doctor, my OBGYN, I was like, I'm a little mad. The last, C-section, I was already like under the knife. Why didn't you just attach a couple arms? Could have been a freaking octopus. It would have helped me. Do it all. Write more books.
Different type of octomom.
Yeah, exactly.
I have two food questions.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So first I want to know, since you were both chefs, who does the cooking in the house?
Me.
Does he ever cook?
Yes.
Okay.
Does he still at a restaurant? He's working locally?
He's at a restaurant. Yes, he works at Park and Grove. He's the executive chef there.
Ooh.
And it's phenomenal. If you haven't been.
There you go. Happy hour.
Gotta go. Yeah.
Nice.
Their brunch
Kathy
is
loves her
good.
happy hours.
I love brunch and happy
brunch,
hour
same.
and food.
I mean, I love, yes.
Just food.
Same. Drinking and eating is the core of my everything. And I also have a theory that happy hour was invented by a mom because at 5 o'clock, it also coincides with the witching hour. I'm like, mommy needs a drink. Like, I should start a podcast called Mommy Needs a Drink. Anyway.
No, the witching hour.
Right? Yeah. Though, like, that's a truth. And it still happens when they get older. I thought that they would grow out of it, but they just like crash after their days at school.
Oh.
And they're just like done. And I'm like, okay, the witching hour is upon us. The kids are acting crazy. It was like time to pop the Chardonnay.
It's the kids that are acting crazy. I thought it was the mom acting crazy.
Me too.
Sorry, I just...
but that's after they go to bed after I've had 48 glasses of wine. Yeah.
Copy that.
But so yes, Carmine, my husband, who is a saint, he works at Park and Grove. Hi, Carm. He probably won't even listen. He's the most like introverted. Anyway, he has changed the menu over at Park and Grove. And one thing that I'm very proud of him and he's very proud of is he's put handmade pastas. So everything's house made in there. Now nothing is bought externally. And he makes his own sauces and his pastas from scratch. And they're all family recipes. Are really good.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait to have some.
Yeah, you got it. Bolognese with gnocchi. That's what
sign me up.
Just don't call it gnocchi.
Just don't call it gnocchi.
Yeah, I'll be so mad.
I'm going back to my Magnolia Summer just for 1 second because I read this one. No, it's not really work, but so if you haven't read it, My Magnolia Summer, an amazing novel, especially a debut novel.
Thank you.
And of course, focusing on our beautiful Low Country. Mm-hmm. So the restaurant, I don't want to give too much away because I need everyone to go read it.
Yeah.
Was that based on a real place in Sullivan Island?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my great grandmother had a restaurant called the Magic Lantern that was actually on Folly Road.
Wait, so that part of it was real?
Yeah. So
I love this.
And it was a fried chicken restaurant on Folly Road in the 20s and the 30s. And she used to sell blue plates. So for like 25 cents, you'd get a protein, 2 starches, and a vegetable and a glass of sweet tea. And it was the first place in South Carolina to have a soda fountain. And so when I went to culinary school, I was like, oh, it's in the blood.
Right,
go.
yeah.
So I always felt very drawn to that. And then I wrote the book because I wanted to write, again, a book I wanted to read. And I'm always very inspired by like Steel Magnolias, Yaya Sisterhood, and I'd read all those books. So when I went to Barnes & Noble looking for a book that was, there wasn't any. And I was like, well, and not only that, there's nobody who's like late 20s, early 30s who's doing this. And God, I love a multi-generational story. And of course, I'm going to center it around food because I am always hungry.
I'm hungry right now.
Even taking Ozempic, I'm still really hungry all the
time. That's a crazy story. Like, process-wise, though.
Yeah.
How? And with the kids and,
Good question.
And the working husband and 2 novels now.
I think the fear of going broke really motivates me.
Sure.
And deadlines and angry people really motivate me. So no, I think I grab it when I can. I mean, I think if I was to sit here and be like, yes, my process it's never the same every day because every day is different. As a parent,
exactly.
I try to schedule my week. So Monday's like my admin day. That's when I'm like CEO of the family. Sure. And I do all the stupid emails and birthday party RSVPs and yada, yada. Yeah. And then Tuesday, I try to write 10 to 2. So I try to get 4 focused writing hours a day. That never happens. It's usually like I procrastinate and then right around 2:00 I know that I have to go get my kids in an hour and a half.
Yes.
So I get a ton of work done in an hour and a half.
Exactly.
And I just like fire it out. It's pressure. But then again, on the flip side, if somebody has an ear infection or whatever, I'm writing in the middle of the night. I'm writing 6 a.m. I'm writing in my head. I'm voice memo. I do whatever I can.
Voice memo.
Yeah. but I always hate how I sound, so I can't listen to it. It makes me sick.
Transcribe it right off.
I know.
Have you ever experienced writer's block?
That's what I question.
Of course, yeah, of course. But I don't have that luxury. I have a deadline. So
you just go like this and go, come on.
I think, the thing that's worked for me with writer's block is that it's usually because I'm uninspired of what I'm writing, or it's feeling like really robotic or just mechanical, and I don't like that. So I usually get up and I change my space. Like I'll go for a walk or I'll read. I'll read another book that has nothing to do with my genre, and that usually sparks my creativity, and I go back.
No, I have not. We're going to talk about the second book, which I cannot wait to read. So thank you for that. But when I attended my Magnolia Summer book signing,
thank you.
At Buxton Books, I think it was last year.
Yeah.
I had the greatest time, and you were doing a little Q&A.
Yeah.
And my memory's not good because I'm old. Just correct me if I'm wrong.
Same. I have nothing left on the hard drive.
The end of my Magnolia Summer kind of is open, right, to be able to write about those characters and continue. I have not read The Violet Hour. Are there any of the same characters?
Oh yeah, it picks up where the other book left off.
I'm gonna go because I'm gonna have to go start reading this book right now.
Yeah, it's Violet is the sister, so it's a sister story, but it's a standalone novel on its own because one, I hopped publishing houses, and so I didn't want to bring too much of my last into this one. But at the same time, women are their own stories. We're all our own standalone books. Like I'm definitely my mother's daughter first. But as you get older, you realize you're yourself. And so I wanted to give Violet the same sort of space. And so I was writing her, and it was supposed to be only Violet's story. But then I was inspired to write another woman's voice. Her name is Allie, and she recently lost her mother, and she is an influencer. And her mother was a big influencer, so she's stepping in her role. And I didn't really mean to write so autobiographical, but that's what happens. It's just, it was like, books shouldn't be therapy. I'm like, well, what the hell are they?
Well, they're therapy when I read them, so why shouldn't they be therapy when you write them?
I think that's what artists do. We try to write authentic work, and if I had written something that was entirely fiction, I think it would not read true to the audience. I think my readers would be disappointed. So,
well, I can honestly say I think that if I picked up the book and you were talking about, being the 34th floor of the Tokyo Hotel, whatever it might be, I'd be like, that's not Victoria.
Not Victoria.
That's not her.
Well, the other thing is too is like, mostly positive. I've inherited an audience from my mother, and so I think the expectation of me is to write Southern fiction beach reads, which I would be so blessed and happy to do for the rest of my life. Sometimes I think about writing something else just to shake it up, but I always find myself going back to Charleston anyway. And I think that, again, like my books are touchstones to where I'm at in my life at the time. And I think I'm always going to be in Charleston. I can't imagine living anywhere else.
Well, you know what? And if it comes to you, though, some great idea in the middle of the night after a couple glasses of wine, you're like, I want to be a CEO or whatever it might be. We're open for it, Victoria.
Well, I can write about it. That's the nice thing about being a writer is if I decide to change my career, I just write about it. Like, what if I want to be a veterinarian? That's the project. I can decide I'm writing a book about a vet.
I love that. Write about what you know.
Yeah. It's like an actor.
Mm-hmm. What happened? Acting.
What do you mean? With acting?
Yeah, what happened with acting?
I went broke. So
yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Starving artist.
I was a starving artist. Didn't reflect in my dress size, but I was starving financially.
So then you decided to cook.
Then I decided
to cook. I'm not going to be starving anymore.
Well, I went and I decided to. I've always wanted to go to culinary school. It's always been a secret dream.
I see. Why?
Just because I love food.
Yeah.
And I love how food can tell a story, and you can know a lot about somebody by eating a plate that they make. You can tell culture and upbringing and geographical location, and it tells so much about who the person is. Like, I know when you eat something that's really good, you're like, man, it has a lot of soul in this. It's because I feel like they put their love into the dish. So I was always fascinated with that, and also restaurant culture. I love restaurant culture. It's so fun.
Yeah,
I'm glad I don't do it anymore.
I bartended and did all that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
there you go.
I was the best waitress the Roslyn Cafe ever had. I'm telling you right now.
I'm sure of it.
Great
I'm sure
tips.
everybody needs to have some sort of service industry background.
My children are required to work 6 months.
They're required. You haven't signed contracts.
Yeah, blood
They're
contracts.
5 and 7 years old.
Yes, and one of them will be waiting tables, and then they'll work in a fitting room. I worked for anthropology for years, and I'm telling you, you will see the whole scope of the human population.
Okay.
In a fitting room and also in a restaurant.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, it's important. It's like,
for sure.
I almost wanted them to work at my in-laws' restaurant and them not pay them. Be like, this is voluntary. This is
That's even better.
This is
That's amazing. Sure. Yeah. I want to talk about business for a second, right? Because we are the Building Business Podcast.
Talk about biz.
I could talk about your books forever, but obviously the majority of the people who are listening to our podcasts are business owners, and so what you have created is not just a book. You've created a business. You're a business now.
Yes, absolutely.
You're a business. Mm-hmm. So how did it feel when you were starting? Were you scared? Like, what were your you are a business name now, and so I was hoping you can give some advice to perhaps someone out there that might either be starting a business or looking to market their business, or that would be any kind of insight to kind of. I think changing it all for yourself, right?
I think the most important thing is to stay true to your original mission, and to stay true to yourself, and to tell yourself the truth, and also to surround yourself with people that you trust. And unfortunately, a lot of that is just like learning through bad and good or whatever. Do I need water? Thank you. Running my mouth. I need to hydrate.
That's quite all right.
So thank you. But I do think that's what happens. I think you learn through experience who to trust and who your people are. But you try to surround yourself. I'm very fortunate. I work with all females, which is wonderful. Everyone on my team is a woman, and almost all of them are mothers. And so we kind of get it.
Is that on purpose?
Yeah, it's on purpose. It's definitely on purpose. Although I think sometimes it's nice to have the perspective of men.
That's nice of you to say.
Yeah, I'll throw you a bone.
You could just give Mike a call, okay?
I'll give you a call.
Mike will give you the honest
answers. He didn't read the book, so I can't. Yeah,
no. He'll read it now. I'll tell you.
No, it's Carmine. My husband doesn't go to my stuff. It's a really, even publishing world is very female driven. So you wind up on accident and on purpose working with people. That is not. I mean, I don't think all men should work with men and all women should work with women.
Right.
But in my case, especially because the brand of my business, the Low Country Tales, what we are all women trying to recarve and reincarnate ourselves through the times that life gives you and the curveballs. And so I wanted to surround myself with a team of women who have been through some stuff. So not only do they identify with my work, but they identify with me, which is almost the same thing.
Love that. That's a great story. I love it.
Oh, thanks.
Great. Yeah. Reinventing yourself, You
have to.
That's what's up.
That's it.
And then also, I get when your mom started, there was no social media or Facebook or any of that, right? So you, as a new author, are challenged, because I hate social media, so I use that word challenge, with utilizing this medium, and it could be hurtful. I mean, when people say bad things, and again, I work at Town Center, and some of the things that people say, and I want to create want to create that fake account name that I can write back.
Oh yeah,
because
my mom used to do it. She used to have a couple of scotches and get on Amazon and be like, you know what, you write a book then. Like, and it was so funny. I'd be like, Mom, you can't do that. You can't. And she's like, they're never gonna believe it's me. And they didn't. They were like, I don't think Dorothea Benton Frank would ever have that. She was there with the scotch, like, screw you.
Yes.
And I feel like doing that on Goodreads too. I mean, some people, it's amazing.
It's amazing,
right? But you know what I always say, and I think this has really helped me with that, is don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from.
Yes.
And if they haven't sat and written a book and lost their mother and raised 2 children and went through a global pandemic and almost got divorced and all this other shit that I went through, then you can't come to me and tell me you don't like my book. I don't care.
And
I already
who
got
cares?
I already have your money.
All right, you read it?
That's it.
I didn't give up just because you don't like it. You're not getting the money
Check
back.
out at the library if you're really. I don't care.
That's great. I love that.
I'm not everybody's cup of tea. That's okay.
Yeah. What's that? Who's that tennis player that's like that too? Golly, she just doesn't care about what people are heckling her, and she's like, "You just paid for my trip to Cabo. What are you talking about?"
Can't
remember.
But it's also just like you have to have this when you're a creator of anything, whether it be a business or a book or artistic or otherwise. You have to really kind of get in your bubble, and the opinions that matter to me live in my 4 walls, or they are located at my publishing house, and that's who I really care about, and I care. Because those are the people I'm truly trying to prove myself to. I'm not trying to prove myself to any rando. I want to make them happy. I want to entertain. That's what I'm doing. I'm not writing a book. The purpose of all of my books, and it will forever be, is to slide into your tote bag. You take me to the beach. I make you happy for 4 days. You can turn off the noise. You feel good, and then that's it. I'm not trying to rattle
change the world, right.
Or if I do, it's through joy,
right.
And what a privilege to be able to do that. So if I have some nasty person get on the line and say something bad to me, I'm like, bless your heart. That's what we say here in the
I
South.
love that. That's my favorite response.
Yeah.
That's good. You know what? I'm going to do a Facebook, Instagram handle called Bless Your Heart.
Should.
It's probably taken already. But anyway, I'm going to do that and then start commenting on people's things.
Do it.
You heard it here first.
That's the response. Just bless your heart.
You heard it here first. No, but I agree with you 100%. I think there's so many people. I could choose what I want to read. Right?
Yeah, of course.
I can go and I can get a romance novel, a fiction novel, a horror novel, an autobiography. I mean, that's my choice. So if you don't like it, go away. You know what I'm saying?
Put it down. You don't have to be nasty about it.
You don't have to finish it either.
But also, like, what I really want to say to people who are truly nasty is like, who hurt you? You're like, go. Here's the number of my therapist. She's great. Maybe check her out. Like you, there's something broken in you if you feel like you need to rip apart someone's book. That writing a book is so hard. Yeah. So for someone to publish a book and get it out there at all, even if they don't get it out there, even if they just finish it, it's such an accomplishment on its own. So like to attack somebody's work is like it's cruel. Right.
And I feel the same way too about some of our members of the chamber. I've talked with them about a couple of things. Restaurants, they make one mistake.
Oh my God.
And they're given
Carmen's
one star and then forget
it was closed on a Monday. I'm like, that's not his fault. That doesn't mean the food sucks. It means they're taking a day off. You can't make everyone happy.
So, but to me, that's the whole con side of social media. It's just it could be so devastating to a business. Listen, if your food's terrible or whatever, that's fine. Yeah. Just don't go back. But if something happens, one little chance to destroy a new business or somebody, I have a problem with it.
But on the flip, because I'm this person, social media is also incredible for building up other things.
I agree.
So I think one of the things that I've learned about social media is that it is a tool. And so what I've been able to do for upcoming authors is promote their books, because with my small little following, it brings their even smaller following to a bigger following, and that invites opportunity through exposure. So I think you find your tribe on social media and you just block out the noise. But you can also promote great things. I mean, God knows Instagram's made me a very efficient shopper.
Oh, for sure.
You can ask my husband about that
credit card. So
I need that. Add to cart.
On a scale of 1 to 50 shades.
How spicy is
my
book?
How spicy are we getting?
Of course,
here?
the man's asking about how much sex is in my book.
You know he's going to read the next one. That's why.
Yeah. Well, the first one I would say is like Frank's Red Hot. And the second one I would say is more like there's a chapter in it that's pretty spicy.
Oh, dear. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I just got read
but
sitting here
I
next
will
to
tell you that my dad, a funny story about the book. So the first book, there's a chapter in it that is pretty explicit, but not terrible. The second book is a little bit more because,
why not?
He was working long hours, so Mama had to entertain herself. Anyway, so the first book, I called my dad and I was like, Dad, you're going to read my book. I was like, please don't read this chapter. Like, whatever you do, don't. He's like, fine. I'm going to Australia. I'm going to be on the plane for like 20 hours. I'll read it then. I was like, all right. And he was texting me from up in the sky. And I'm sitting with my husband on the couch and he's like, I'm reading your book. And I'm like, oh shit. Because that's the first thing I thought. I was like, oh my God. And he was like, and he started writing this like whole thing like, oh, I'm so proud of you. Mom would be so proud. It's such beautiful writing.
He didn't get to the chapter yet, did he?
Right. And I was like ready for him to be like, I have a brain tumor. Like, I was like, we should screenshot this and needle point it because he's never given me a compliment ever. He's German. I mean, like, now he does. I'm joking. Yeah. He's very complimentary. He's lovely. Yeah. Biggest cheerleader. But then he sent me a message. He goes, all right, I'm halfway through. I was like, remember, Dad, this chapter that's coming up, like you skip it. And he goes, okay. I think it was chapter 10. I can't remember. And so he sends me a text message about 2 hours later and he's like, I read chapter 10. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so grounded. I'm like, I'm in trouble. I'm like, I'm in so much trouble. And he goes, I'll just let you know, it was pretty wimpy. Your mom and I did way riskier stuff than that.
Oh, I love him.
And I was like, Dad, can you yell at me? I would so much more prefer that.
Yeah, that was the opposite of what I thought.
Yeah, same. So the second book comes out. So now it's really a contest to gross my dad out.
Oh, boy.
So I'm just getting more graphic and more sexy as the books come see me.
I'm blushing just sitting.
I can't wait till the next one.
The second one, there's a hot scene in there, I'll tell you. Like, I almost had a third baby. We got a puppy instead.
And puppies are better.
Yeah, it is. Plus, my husband's Italian. He sneezes and I get nervous,
But and a reminder for our listeners: the Violet Hour comes out August.
Yes, August 12th.
Yeah, that's.
Please pre-order it now because the pre-orders matter, y'all. Everyone's like, don't say that. It's tacky. I'm like, y'all, I just got back from Disney. I need to sell some books.
Yeah.
So in the pre-orders, everything counts for the first week of your sales. So the first week is how you get on the New York Times list or not.
I was wondering.
It is important to me.
The business side of things on that end.
Yeah.
Getting that published.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was that like? How?
So
right?
Good question.
I know you had an in already, but
well, yes. So what I like to tell people is that mine is a very unique story, obviously, because I have a legacy. But no one gives you anything for free in New York. So they may open the door for me, but I got to walk through it. And I wrote that novel and this one, and every word I write myself, and it's hard. So I got really lucky and I'm blessed. I mean, I inherited my mom's agent and her editor, and then editor changed publishing house, and I followed her from HarperCollins to Simon & Schuster because she is so brilliant. Carrie Farron is my editor, and she is just, her mind is like just so razor sharp, and she understands what I'm doing because she helped build my mom's career. So it's like I really have the alpha team, the varsity team. But I don't know how. I think I was meant to do this, and I think doors opened to me because they were like in anything in life. If you were meant to do something, it sort of comes together.
Right.
So
listen, no matter the legacy, if your book was not good,
exactly,
it would, I'm saying it would not have sold.
It's all right.
Period.
Yeah.
So you had to. So did you have to pitch the idea first?
Yeah.
Like, what is that process? Because
so it's different. It's different for everybody, and every editor, every agent, they all have different. They have different expectations and wants of an author, and different time. Like in the '90s, it was one game. Now it's a different game. I had
as in everything,
right?
From the '90s.
I know. Yeah, hello.
I miss the '90s.
I miss the '90s. I know. God, Spice Girls, where you at? But this. So I had most of the novel finished, and I got a book deal, and when it was finished, so I had to. They would. My editor looked at it for me as a favor because she was my mom's editor. But then I hired a freelance editor because Carrie was very busy being an incredible editor to other people. So I had a freelance editor help me kind of shape it and cut off a lot of it. And then I got a book deal. Once it was done, I submitted it. But I was lucky.
Did you had some consultation on the deal part of things? Is it a fair deal?
I have an agent. I have an agent who represents me.
And you're happy with all that? Like
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe I was paid to do this.
I love that.
It's great. And it's amazing. Like I'm having such a good time.
Oh, cool.
Like I really am. Like
we're having fun.
Thanks. I love book tour. I love that I get to make people's lives fun and sunny for like a few days. Because although everyone like rips through my books, I'm like, could you take a little longer? It took me 7 years to write the first one, and you're done in 24 hours.
That's interesting thought.
Well, that's kudos, but that's kudos to you because
Thank
if you don't want to put it down, it's a well-written book.
Well, at least it's a page turner, and I think then again, the nice thing is it's such a privilege. It's such a privilege. It's a privilege to be my mother's daughter in general, and now to herald, what she built her mountain on. I get to build on top of.
So, what of all those great things you just mentioned, Victoria? What has been the most rewarding part of your journey
being
so far?
Right
now, meeting you two.
Thank you.
Meeting readers for sure. I'm a
reader.
Yeah, the readers who read my books.
I'm rewarding to her. Yay!
You are. I mean, listen, like you, every person who picks up my book allows me to live the life I live, and it's an encouragement to keep going. But I've also met women who were struggling in their life that my book was a light to them. And I can't change the world, but I can make you laugh for a little bit.
Yeah. Can you having that kind of effect on another woman?
It's incredible.
It's something.
It's God. I don't know religion. I'm not here to talk about that, but I can tell you that I believe in God because I see how love is the thread that ties us all together. And if I don't know you, but you know me because of my book, and it made you feel seen. And that's so important to so many people. And especially I love the stories where I was in postpartum with babies nursing and dying, and your book got me through it. I'm like, yes, I'm so happy to be able to be that for somebody.
That's
so
amazing.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
What about you? What do you do to distress? What do you do to?
I don't.
You just a constant stress.
She mentioned wine.
She
mentioned wine.
I play. Not enough. There's not enough wine. I write about it.
Mahjong.
Mahjong. I play mahjong every Tuesday with a league, and I have really fun friends, and we laugh a lot. And that's but I don't have time for myself.
Right, with the kids and the husbands and
everyone who works
single.
with me, all of my team. Whenever they ask, "What do you do to stress?" They all start laughing because they're like, "She doesn't stop." I never stop because if I stop,
that seems
to
me to be your personality in general.
I'm a shark.
I don't think no matter what you'd be doing in life, I could see you either running a kitchen or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I could just see
I'm
that's
high
the
energy.
way that you are.
I like live in a managed chaos at all times. Like, and actually other writers who they always make fun of me because they're like, it takes me like 6 hours to get 2 sentences. And I sit down with you for 20 minutes. You've written 1,500 words. I'm like, because that's all I have. I only have those 20 minutes. So I have to make it happen.
Yes.
You know, I'm overly caffeinated and motivated to go back to Disney World.
What's next?
Well, this book, and then I'm writing a third one right now.
This book meaning the Violent Hour.
The Violent
Hour.
It'll be out in August.
A lot of people are calling it the Violent Hour, which I think is hysterical. So I'm going on tour for this.
Where are you going to go?
August,
on tour?
anywhere.
You going back to Buxton Books?
Southeast?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Buxton Books is my home base.
Ryan, make sure I get an invitation for that one.
Polly,
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Polly
Keep me
Buxton
posted.
is a good friend, and Julian, her husband, who's brilliant, also an author. And I'm working on a third book, which is a little bit different, but it's also within the same theme. Takes place half on Sullivan's Island, a little bit in Italy, and it's about 3 girls that planned a life, and then it didn't work out for any of them, and so they how to restructure and carve a new path when unexpected things are thrown your way.
I mean, you've had enough unexpected things thrown your way that you could probably write for 3 different people.
That's why I'm funny. It's the trauma.
Yeah, I get it. I like it.
Yeah.
Did your therapist tell you to do that?
No, no, I just got into therapy actually, and I probably should have been in therapy about 10 years ago, but here we are. No, I think that is true. I think the funniest people I know have gone through some of the most roughest lives, and not that my life is rough, but I've definitely been dealt some curveballs for sure. But that's what makes me
exactly
badass. Yeah, right.
100%. Well, I'm a fan.
Thanks.
I'm
a fan of
You haven't even read it yet.
I love you guys.
Wait till you read it.
Wait till you read it.
I don't know if I can.
You're gonna read it. You're gonna read it.
What do you mean?
Or like I said, just have Emily read it to you.
You feel like it's gonna be too personal? Get the audio.
I might get too horny. I mean, I don't know.
Oh boy. Now he's really going to be a fan. He's going to be like, where did you live on James Island?
I think this is
now
the spiciest podcast I've ever done.
You're going to get a conversation from my husband, which is probably like, I get it. That's what he would say. That's what he would say. Like,
has he read it?
No.
Well, what the heck?
No, of course he didn't read it. I think my husband is better off not getting. Like, he doesn't come to my book events really, and it's okay. Like, I think, not that I'm on this level at all. Please don't misunderstand me, but there's a reason why no one really knew who Dolly Parton's husband was. Okay. You know, when I'm such an extrovert, but I'm such an extrovert, and I take up all the space, and like that's my job.
Yeah.
So I can't be your wife right now.
Right.
I have to be Victoria Benton Frank. I can't be Victoria Peluso. You know, and sometimes I wake up, I'm like, man, that bitch is wearing me out. That Victoria Benton Frank. I'm tired today.
Yeah, well,
and my husband's
you're
like,
doing a lot.
Yeah. But again, I'll die if I don't. I'm a shark.
I've got a couple rapid fire before we let you go.
Oh, I love rapid fire. Okay.
Okay. And if you don't want to answer them, they're okay because they understand. Favorite restaurant in town?
My living room.
I was gonna say,
I
like to eat on my couch.
So can we all come to your house for dinner?
Oh,
Park
no,
and
I
Grove.
actually do. I actually do have a favorite. Yeah, Park and
Grove.
Grove. My husband's obviously. I love Vern's. Vern's is my favorite, and specifically their roasted chicken. It is the most decadent, delicious roasted chicken. I think you can test any restaurant based on how they roast a chicken. The technique is perfect. The brown butter jus is delicious. And my only complaint with Vern's is that they don't serve it with a whole baguette to sop up all of that delicious sauce.
Now we were hungry before, and now I'm really
starving right now. Have you been to this place, Kathy?
Yeah.
Vern's?
I have, yeah.
Tell them I sent you, and they'll be like, "Oh, you're getting the chicken." Like I had my birthday there. We had 10 people. We had 10 chickens on the table.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Everybody ate their own.
And it's
like,
funny
we're not
because
sharing.
most people like chicken, but
no, you're right. Your
Yeah.
first instinct is like, I'm not gonna get chicken, but
no, when it's done right, it's done right.
Oh my God.
Where do you take? What's the first place you take out-of-state visitors for the first time?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, it used to be Sullivan's Island, but I've moved in on James Island, and there's a little park there that overlooks the harbor.
Oh, beautiful.
So I like to go there with them.
Have you ever written there before?
No, but I plan on it.
Oh, because you just moved
yeah,
there. That's
I plan
right.
on taking
That's right.
my laptop and going out there and writing and looking at the water. So we'll see, depending on how hot it gets. It's pretty hot.
That sounds awesome, though.
buggy.
Well, yeah, buggy. Yeah, like, screw those gnats.
Who is going to be the lead in your My Magnolia Summer movie?
Me. I have a theater degree, so I'll be acting.
Oh, there it comes.
That's stipulation.
Now everything comes
Is
to
that
light
what it
here.
is?
She doesn't just want to be a bestseller. She wants to be an Oscar-winning actress
yeah.
too. Why not?
Magnolia. Who's Maggie?
I
Who's going to play
don't know.
Maggie?
I don't know.
Who do you want to play Maggie?
I'm open. You know, I think I don't care as long as they get the Southern accent right. That's my only gripe.
okay.
Like, don't come in here sound like you're from Colombia.
Oh,
when you're from Charleston.
Obviously.
Yeah. Or like they don't get it. Like not everybody sounds like a banjo down here.
Right.
Charleston has a certain dialect and a rhythm to it has to be authentic.
Okay. And my last question for you is, what are you reading right now?
I'm reading a few things right now. I'm reading The Favorites, which is about a competitive ice skating couple, which is really, really good.
A real story, fiction?
Yeah, it's fiction. It's fiction, but it's based on a true story.
Okay.
I'm reading Page Turner by, I'm almost done. I guess I'm done with it now because I finished it, by Viola Davis, who is my favorite person right now. What else am I reading? I have something else on my... Oh my God, I'm blanking now.
I got to write these down.
Yeah.
I love good book
I just finished, and I was so late to the party, but I'm so glad to be here now, at Lisa C's Lady Tan's Circle of Women. Ooh. It's the most, I'm going to tell you what it's about, and you're going to be like, what? But I promise you, talk about a good story. It's about 14th century China, female doctors. There was
doctors in 14th century China?
Yeah, and that were women, yes. And it's incredible. It's like you look at it. The best thing about a book is that it gives you a window into somebody else's perspective. Mm-hmm. Sure. And I'm not going to know about 14th century China.
Right.
Like I'm at Target with screaming children and a hangover. So I don't really know what that's like. So if I get to jump into another world, I think that's what
that's amazing.
That's what I'm reading.
I'm going to have to, when I re-listen to this, I'm going to write those down.
Yeah.
All right, listeners, everybody, get out there. Get My Magnolia Summer. This is already out. This is a great, great book.
Thank you.
You're going to enjoy every single second of it. And then August,
so you can buy this now. It's available. Buy now.
In August, we get The Violet Hour. Mm-hmm. And then hopefully next year we get the third.
I'm hoping. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
you know what? Listen.
I know. I got to go, guys. I got a book to write.
We'll take your kids so you can write it faster.
Real quick, before you say goodbye.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's do a giveaway.
Yay.
Yeah. Let's do if you comment on the YouTube and or any social media that Amanda posts.
Okay.
And says, I want my Magnolia.
There you go.
Huh? What do you think about that? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
I know. I need one.
Keep yours. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have 4 right now.
Yeah.
No, this is my wife's. This is Emily's.
Oh, sorry. Should be yours.
They're going to be autographed.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Thank you.
Sure.
That's really awesome. Thank you for bringing the books.
I'm so happy to do it. Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure.
This is certainly a very memorable podcast, and I hope it gets shared all over the place.
You.
I think this is her favorite. I kind of want to think this is her favorite.
This is fantastic.
Guys.
Victoria, thank you so much for spending your time with us today.
It's such a pleasure and an honor.
.com's social medias.
Tell us how to get you. Yep.
Best way to follow me is on Instagram, Victoria Benton Frank. Easy peasy. And I have a website, but it's almost performative. It's not social media.
Okay. But where should we get your books from?
Okay, so they're available anywhere books are sold. I always encourage readers to order from an independent bookstore, preferably ones in South Carolina.
Of course.
Village Bookseller, I love, and then of course Buxton Books,
but Blue Books too,
and Blue Bicycle Books. Yes, Blue Bicycle Books. Jonathan Sanchez, good friend of mine. Any of those are great, but obviously Barnes & Noble, Amazon, all those places it's available as well. Books A Million. So, yeah.
Get out there and get yourself a copy.
Please. I got 2 kids, lots of bills, credit card debt. Buy 2.
Buy 2. Oh, yeah,
one for each kid. Yeah, send them to college.
That's awesome. Thank you again so much.
You've been great. What a fun time. Fun conversation.
What an enjoyable chat with you. And we wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you so much.
So before we leave, we need to once again thank our sponsor, DK Design, and of course our partners, Charleston Media Services for
Charleston Media Solutions.
Media Solutions. Yeah. Why do I keep saying services? I'm sorry about that.
Service
they changed their names, so
Solutions,
it's their fault.
For their support, not only for this podcast, but for their support of the Chamber. Make sure you like and subscribe to all our media channels, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
Yeah. Comment on any one of those for your own signed book by VBF herself.
Yeah, fantastic.
Did you know that? I'm calling you VBF now?
Like DBF? Yeah, my mom was DBF. And I'm
DBF. Okay.
Yeah.
Boy, Mike,
we're
nailing it today. I don't know what's going on over here.
So good.
Sorry, Carmine. I don't know what's going on.
He's gonna listen. He's gonna listen. He'd be like, "You can have her. She's a pain. All that personality at home's a lot. Go ahead." We've been together 15 years. He would love a little thrill like that.
Oh, I love it.
That's
you know what? Actually, we've been together 15 years. He better watch his back, right? Because now I'm famous.
You're famous now.
LOL.
I'll tell him that.
Famous.
Okay, I'm going to watch my back from now on.
No.
I know.
No.
It's an Italian chef on my ass.
Riding a motorcycle.
What the heck just happened?
He'll probably give you some tips. God, that's the love of my life, that idiot.
Oh, my God. The laughs today, everybody. Thank you all so very much. Until next time, Mount Pleasant. Until next time, listeners.